Hey everyone, welcome back to Kenshi. We are playing again as Tankface today. Last episode we were able to loot this outpost, so we got some good loot here to sell. I did notice that I missed a bit of loot that I can fit in my backpack, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that real quick. Let's go ahead and go into town and sell all this loot in Flats Lagoon, and we'll see what other equipment we can buy, including arrows for our crossbows. We do have to be a little bit careful here, just because Tankface is running slow. He's laden with a bunch of loot, so we will need to be careful running back into town, since we are going to be fairly slow. Alright, we've made it back to town. Let's go ahead and sell our loot. Let's see if this crossbow shop has any ammunition items. Alright, so we do have quite a bit of ammo here. Let's sell off all of our loot. We actually have enough to go ahead and make a trip back to Black Desert City to get even more loot. Okay, so that's plenty of ammo. We'll put our armor back on. So let's head back to Black Desert City. We'll sell off the rest of our loot, and we will come back down south and make a base in Flats Lagoon, just because its location is so close to our endgame scenario that we're going to make Flats Lagoon our final rest area before we head into Grey Shelf. And actually, before we leave, let's go ahead and just claim our house. It's one of these small houses. There it is. Let's buy it. And now it's ours. And we can store some stuff here so that we don't have to carry everything with us all the time. Let's make it a private house. And I think we'll have to research basic storage. But yeah, we're going to have to research basic storage. We can do that when we come back. Alright, looks like we made it to the scrap house. Let's go ahead and head upstairs. I'm tempted to upgrade my long cleaver, although it's most likely going to result in a heavier weapon, which Tankface will inevitably swing even slower than he does this weapon. 22 kilograms, 28 kilograms for a falling sun. It's tempting. I'm also tempted to go with a combat cleaver since they are quite a bit lighter. And Tankface will probably be a little more successful with a combat cleaver. Or we could upgrade to a long cleaver Mark II, or Edge Type 2. Alright, let's compare the moon cleaver to the long cleaver. Long Cleaver has superior cutting damage. Everything else seems about even, except for the blood loss is even better on the Long Cleaver. And we have an indoor penalty for the Long Cleaver and not for the Moon Cleaver. But I think the blood loss offset is worth keeping the Long Cleaver. So I think I will upgrade to Long Cleaver Edge Type 2, since we do get a bit of a bonus to our damage. And it is slightly heavier, but we can train Tankface to use it. Alright, so now we have an upgraded Long Cleaver. We have plenty of ammunition. Let's go ahead and sell off the rest of our loot. And while we're here, let's go take a look at the robotic limbs, since we are going to outfit Tankface with some pretty high-level robotic limbs. Okay, so we definitely want a scout leg, and we might go with a stealth leg as well. There's a masterwork stealth leg left. Not terribly expensive. Let's pick that up. And we will sell off the rest of our loot from the outpost. Let's see if we have a masterwork scout. Does not look like we do. But we need a right leg, masterwork scout. For the time being, let's go ahead and stick with specialist scout leg. And we can always come back if we need to and upgrade. And as far as arms are concerned, we want KLR and steady arm. And I've done a little research. It looks like the left arm usually gets hit more than the right arm, so we want that arm to be a little heavier. So we're going to look for a left arm KLR series masterwork, and here is one right here. So we will be picking up this left arm masterwork KLR. And we can sell off a few more of these robotic repair kits, because we don't need that many, at least for now. And our final limb is our right arm, which will be the weaker arm. I believe steady arm is what I need. Yeah, it gives bonuses to crossbows and dexterity, which is excellent. And I'm not seeing a steady arm for the right arm. So for the time being, I think we'll just go with a masterwork skeleton arm. And we'll come back if we really feel like we need the steady arm. Alright, so now we have a complete loadout of Tankface's robotic limbs. All we need to do now is level up our stealth capabilities as well as our assassination, so we can go get the peeler, and we'll attach Tankface's skeleton arms once we've removed his limbs. Now that I'm heading this way to train in the Skinner's Room area, I think I will make one more trip up to the Armor King. Not entirely happy with Tankface's mercenary plate. I think I'm going to go full samurai plate for Tankface. It's just kind of logical considering his name. He is going to be a tank, and samurai armor is pretty much one of the tankiest armors in the game, other than crab armor. Perfect opportunity here on our left to level up Tankface's sneak ability. It's not going to be great because of his heavy armor he has on his legs, but we will get a slight bonus with our ninja rags. And we can see as we go in triple speed, our stealth is leveling up pretty rapidly because the enemies in front of us are numerous, and we do get more rapid stealth experience around enemies. And it's perfect timing, only because at nighttime it is harder to detect Tankface, so hopefully this guy won't be too much of an issue here. There we go. We'll go back into sneak. There we go. Perfect. This is a great way to just boost your sneak incredibly quickly, just sneaking behind hungry bandits. Especially at night, it's a great time to do it. And we will want to get Tankface some sneaky pants here eventually. Just because he is going to have about 100 points to his sneak ability. Almost got spotted there by that guy. After our sneak is leveled up, we are going to practice our assassination as well. And that will actually help us in the end fight against the Southern Hive. Tankface is just flying through the stealth skill points here. Okay, so we're going to hang back a little further now that it's getting a little lighter. Okay, we're around 82 stealth now with the ninja rags. Okay, so we've been found. So it looks like this group is going to have to go down. Let's go ahead and train up our crossbow skill. And there's another group. And it's getting late in the day, so this is perfect timing once again for Tankface to train his stealth. Okay, we are at 90 sneak. Pretty happy with that. We'll see how far we get. Let's go ahead and start knocking some of these guys out. Oh, they saw us before we could get to them. So, once again, we're back to crossbow and fighting. The Old World Bow Mark II Masterwork is just brutal for these hungry bandits. It almost guarantees damage to the point where if it hits a limb, that limb can't be used. If it hits their chest, it's an instant knockout. Pretty much if it hits their stomach, chest, or head, and it does over 100 damage, it will pretty much destroy them. Alright, it looks like they've stopped fighting there for a second. That was kind of odd. Now the sneaking will help us as well in the Southern Hive, just because we may get to a point where we need to sneak out and heal, and we don't want to be spotted by the patrols. So we can avoid those patrols by sneaking out, healing, and then going back, whittling down their numbers, rinse and repeat, and eventually win the battle. Okay, we got a few more of these guys to peel off. There we go. Okay, we're at 94 sneak. Anywhere close to 100 I'll be happy with. Let's see if we can do something with our pants. Really not a lot to be done here. Just don't have enough space to store everything. I think we're going to go ahead and just drop our sleeping bag for now. Can always get another one. And we'll get rid of our pants. That'll help us perform our stealth assassinations. I think this will do. It does look like we have enough food to keep Tankface going, so we'll be okay for now. Let's try some assassinations. And what are we at right now? 0. 0 skill for assassination, so we will have to see how this goes. Oh, that actually worked. Okay, so now we have level 1. Okay, when we fail an assassination attempt, the assassination will jump. Let's go ahead and just take this group out. We are training with a new weapon as well, so that's going to help us. And we are doing over 100 damage per swing against these hungry bandits now. Just obliterating this group. Wow, just saw 2 limbs go flying. That is just brutal. Alright, let's find a new group. Okay, that failed. So now we're up to assassination level 10. That's pretty good. Huh. The guy that we just hit is running away, but his buddies are coming to attack. Let's switch our gear out again. Sorry, guys. Ooh, there goes another limb. I believe in order to knock out the leader of the skin bandits, I think I need around 50 assassination skill or higher. And then we'll head down and we'll grab the peeler from him and we'll transfer the skeleton limbs onto Tankface's body. Okay, it looks like we're able to take out most of these guys now. So our assassination is now up to 23 points. Climbs pretty fast when you fail an assassination. Alright. Let's find another group. And actually, since our assassination against these guys is almost guaranteed, we're going to need to find harder enemies to knock out. Actually, before we do, let's check the Armor King to see if he has better chestplate. Kind of working my way through the line here. Sometimes it helps to get the guys in the back first. And that way it makes it easier to work your way up to the front. Now we have Dust Boss. Okay, that failed. So we must have, yeah, we got a huge jump in assassination skill here, so that's fantastic. We're almost at level 50. Alright, that's great. Let's go ahead and throw on our armor and say hello to these guys. Okay, so that was not as much damage as the Hungry Bandits, but it is still very dangerous for these guys to fight me. Nearly 100 points per swing. Yeah, just dropping these guys, no problem. Yeah. Oh, no contest there. Alright, let's go ahead and move on. I like the way you just see limbs flying from the battle as Tankface just cleaves their hands, or their arms and their feet. Just limbs are just flying around in high speed. Wow. It's almost comical the way the foot just flies into the air like that. Alright. Let's move on. Okay, there may be an opportunity here to knock out some higher level enemies. Doesn't look like these guys are too tough. They do have a paladin with them. A high paladin. His stats are pretty high. Pretty tough guy. I think this is worth taking a shot. Even though these guys are very tough. Let's see what happens. So we are at 41 assassination. Let's see what it takes to take down these guys. Oh yeah. So, high paladin, we have no chance. Paladins, we have about 40% chance. And these guys are 100, so let's take these guys out first. I'm going to go for the harder guy because he will give me more XP. And then I'll need to run into the water to avoid the paladins here. Okay, that failed. Our assassination went up a few points, but not as much as I had hoped. So let's go ahead and sprint into the water. Actually, that's going to slow us down. So what we can do is drop our bag. And we'll run away. There, can't get us in the water. We'll loop around and get our bag once these guys have given up. Looks like they've already given up. Okay, and we'll go back to our sneaking and we'll try this again. I actually got him that time. Gotta get these guys coming back to their group. Let's go ahead and disarm these guys just in case they do get back up. At least the harder ones. Okay, now we have harder targets. Let's go ahead and attack this really hard guy. We're almost level 50. So this is great training for Tankface. Okay, that did not work, and now we are at level 50 assassination skill, which is great. So let's go ahead and run into the water. Actually, let's go ahead and go for the high paladin since he'll give us a lot more XP if we fail. We're at 53 right now. Okay, he failed, and we got 54, so we're slowing down in how fast we level up. But pretty confident that we can take out Savant pretty soon. I think this is good enough training for now. Let's head back to the armor smith and then back to Flats Lagoon and set up our house that we'll be using for the rest of the game. Alright, so we found what we came for, but it's a little out of our price range. So we might have to step it down a bit to Specialist Gray. Let's compare this to what we have now. So after evaluating these two armors, I think I'm going to go ahead and stick with the Masterwork Mercenary Plate. The Samurai armor has too many negative effects. And the bonus to the damage reduction from the armor is not that much better. So I'll go ahead and stick with the Mercenary Plate for now. Now here's a group of Band of Bones. We might benefit from getting into a fight with these guys. level up our combat ability a bit. In fact, what about assassination? Let's go ahead and fight these guys. Now that we've trained our assassination on them, before we go into Venge and get burned by these lasers. Is that a threat? Looks like it was. Not even the Band of Bones is not even a match for Tankface anymore. Alright. So let's go ahead and try and run across the desert here with the lasers going. I have been able to do it before. Armor doesn't matter, by the way, unless you have heat protection in your armor. So we're just going to go ahead and take all the heavy stuff off and see how far we can get. And we are almost through. Be lucky if we don't get hit by a laser here. Run, Tankface. I think we made it. Oh, we don't want to mess with these boneyard dogs, so let's not get into their line of sight. Alright, and we'll set up our house here. This episode's running a little bit long, so I promise next video we will be getting our peeler and Tankface some new limbs. Now let's go ahead and set up our house for now. Okay, so we're going to need, I think, about 4 building materials. Let's do some organizing here. Okay, let's go grab those building materials. If we can find them. Ah, here we go. Doesn't look like they have building materials here. So we may actually have to go out of town to build that research bench, but at least we can put a bed here. Grab a sleeping bag. And is there anything else we can do? And we'll build a campfire. Alright. So this episode's running a little long. Let's go ahead and end it here. Thanks again for watching, and thanks for taking an interest in my channel. For those of you who subscribed, I really appreciate it. Hope to see you in the next video. Take care.